Welcome back to Backstage Pass. Last week we didn't have time to complete an interview with Frank Baranowski, one of the world's top age regression hypnotists. Now we're going back to finish that interview. He has a radio show every Saturday nights at 7 o'clock on KFYI 910 Talk Radio. Let's go in and complete the interview right now.
Is that a form of psychic phenomena? Or is that intuition? Or is that just guesswork? We're not sure. So there's just a lot of things that might be positive for some other people. Other ones, well, really not acceptable.
Your credits are much longer than we can recite. All the people you've worked with and you've been to what, 800 or 900 cities. And it's incredible. What about the problems with the other well-known psychics in the community? How come there isn't more of a cohesion factor? I know we were discussing another famous psychic that's written many books, and there doesn't seem to be very much good feelings between.
Well, I'm lucky. The psychics that I've met here in Phoenix seem to work well together. And this is the mark of a good person. There's no ego, no involved. I've worked with other clairvoyants who, in fact, we've tried just the other, on your film, had 4 psychics together. They worked really great. I've been on other programs, KYW out of Philadelphia or in Washington, D.C., where they had a half a dozen psychics. And after it's all over, they would begin to squabble. Now, you should have let me answer that question because I knew I was more clairvoyant than you were. No, you didn't. And ridiculous. I mean, their egos would far override whatever good that they were going to do.
Which goes to say that not all psychics, personally, are that together. They work through another power that works through them.
Okay. Yeah, I'll buy that. Yeah, I'm not sure it's another power. It just might be a different reserve, just a different level of consciousness.
Somebody mentioned that. They said ESP means effective sensory perception, that all of us have it. It's just developed a lot better. But it doesn't change the personality. Some of the psychics I noticed smoke cigarettes, which is something that you wouldn't think a more evolved person would do. And that's my own personal opinion again. But, have habits of a lower nature, and when you deal with them personally, you don't really, see that higher power working through them.
There's a woman in Mexico City, Mother Dorothea, or Mother Dolores, that was her name, and she would have crucifixes hanging from her, but I mean huge ones, on her back, on her side, and one in each hand. And before she would do a psychic sooth, she'd hold these things, and, it's coming through me, God is speaking, and everybody's petrified, and then she'd give the message. It was all over with, and I say, hey, I didn't see any additional power coming from that, because generally I can see crystals when they glow, and so on and so on. She says, well, I just do that because it makes the other person feel that it's not coming from the devil if I'm holding a crucifix in my hand, it's coming from God. Is that psychic or showbiz? I'm not sure, see? So there's the difference.
You're a fascinating person, Frank. We really enjoy you taking part in the show.
That's my pleasure. I love your show.
And we want to work with you a lot more in the future. I'm sure the audience really feels the same way. And we want to go into more of the investigative form of psychic phenomena.
Excellent. We'll do that. We'll talk about cases of reincarnation that we've proven.